Hi, my name's Linda Pearson, and I'm with the Great Bend Recreation Commission. Today, we're going to do one of the projects to go. It's all about Christmas. So this is one of the projects that I have completed. I'm going to do the one today with you just a little bit different. And as you can see, there's lots of different variety. You can keep it simple, or you can use some of the little stick-ons that I've provided, or you can make some snowflakes and the joy at the top of his hat. We also have a wreath that you can use. It'll be in your package. And when you're finished, you can go ahead and glue him right on there. I think that kind of adds to it. So you have just basic colors for Christmas. We just have our red and green and white and black. This little guy is going to be just pretty basic. So I'm going to start with the white. I already did his beard because this is at least 3 coats, but I have decided that I want to go ahead and make this one different than the sample that I've got, and go ahead and make this white as well. That way we can make a little bit of a variety with his red hat. I have a little snowflake here that I thought would be pretty if we would paint that red, and we can put that on his hat. Just a little bit different if you don't want to paint words like joy on there. You can keep it completely simple and not put anything on there if you prefer. Just going to try to give you some ideas today. So you'll have 2 different paint brushes in your kit this time. You'll have a nice thicker one, and then this trim one for small spaces. And I just feel like we needed that with his beard down here. Just makes it a little simpler to get into those spaces. I think this is probably my favorite project. I love Christmas and Santa and just the basic colors. So that's what we'll be providing. If you are more anxious to do some of the prettier silver and gold and other colors that are typical of Christmas, then you're out of luck. This is what we've got in this package. The only thing that I didn't bring today that I thought about was glitter, because of course you can't do Christmas without a little glitter. And I thought maybe just a little bit of glitter around the wreath would be pretty, or even on his hat. Just a suggestion. So that's one coat. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll do black for his shoes. So with the colors that you have the black and the white that you can make gray for his pants, if you like that. You don't have to do it that color, but that's what I did on this sample, and I think that's what we'll do today. They were telling us on the news that we only have 50-some days till Christmas, so that was kind of shocking. I'll be anxious for Thanksgiving, actually, because it's my favorite meal of the year. I'm gonna switch to just a smaller brush and get it into those little areas. As with all of our projects, these can all be highlighted with a Sharpie. You'll have a Sharpie in your kit so that if you decide to make those a little more defined areas, you can do that. If not, you can just keep it a little softer. I think he's a pretty cute Santa. So as you will mix the black and the white for the gray for his pants, you can also mix the red and the white for his nose. Just pretty basic Santa here. But that's the kind of Santa I like. I think this says Santa. All red and white and pretty. I thought I had to do a red heart for his heart, but that doesn't mean that you can't make it blue. I hope you have fun painting these projects to go. I think they're great ideas. They're just the right size for sitting with some of your Christmas decorations or hanging with something else that you have in your house that it would go with. I thought I might, since this one's a little bit different, paint this snowflake red, and then we could put that on his hat. just good to have this little bitty paintbrush here. Okay, there are just some tiny little flaws in some of these pieces, but they're easily covered, so if you have them, just keep putting another coat of paint on it and it does go away. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this snowflake. Looks like it might take a couple of coats of paint too. But it would alleviate some of your pain and agony if you want to just glue something on his hat rather than printing joy or making snowflakes, which I think really can be fun, and you can always paint over it if you decide you don't like it. So we'll let that dry. I'm thinking about putting it right here on his stocking cap. So I'm thinking the present should be green. I went ahead and did the bow totally red on this one, and we do have some little cotton swabs here that you can use to make some dots if you like that. I did some little hearts on it. And then I also have some stick-ons that we'll put in your package that you can use on the package or really anywhere if you want to use it on the wreath. I kind of thought these were pretty. So just whatever you like best. I think I will go ahead and do the whole thing green. That way we can put some polka dots, we can put some hearts, we can separate it that way. Okay, so I think we're going to use just a little bit of our white and just a dab of the red, and we'll see what we can come up with for Santa's nose here. I think that's pretty good. It could be redder. It could be flesh colored if you would prefer. Not unusual to see his nose red. So just mix up whatever color you prefer. And as usual, it's going to take a couple of coats to get this the color that you want. I think that's part of the fun, is that this project does take a little bit of time, so you become part of the project and doing everything at least a couple of times with the paint. But that makes it fun, I think. So we've got a kind of a pink little nose going on. Not quite as dark as the other one, but I think that's okay. And it might be a little darker the next time you mix up your paint and put your second coat on. So for his trousers, I just think gray is the color. So once again, we'll just take some of your white and just a dab of the black. And mix that up until you've got what you want. I'm gonna go for a little more white. Just because that's me, I think that's pretty good. It also helps to cover better when you're mixing two colors. Makes it a little stronger color. You could make his trousers really any of the colors that we have in the package, and with a Sharpie you could highlight it so that it would be more defined if like you want to make it like the black, like the pant or the boots. I just thought we needed a little contrast here. Got some little sharp edges here. We just want to kind of like fan that paint up into that point. Don't need a lot of paint on your brush to do that. Kind of go back and smooth out some of those edges that you've got. This paintbrush is really just perfect for these little areas. You can make it into a tip, or it flattens out really nicely too. It's probably going to need a second coat on there, I think. I think he's looking pretty good. I'm going to just lay that snowflake up there something that you could use if you want. It does definitely need a couple of coats of white on the brim of his hat so that it looks nice like his beard. I think you can probably go ahead, we could go ahead and do a little bit with the present if you want. I'm thinking some polka dots and some highlighting with the Sharpie would probably be the best. And I'm going to just go with white dots. We'll start with that. You can see if you like it. Can make all different kinds of sizes. I'm going to go ahead and then separate this by going down the center too. So that separates it just a little bit, and once it's highlighted with your Sharpie, it would be even more separated. I think I'm going to leave the bow just the way it is, but you can put dots on it as well. I think it was kind of fun using some of these stick-ons for the present. And then I also got carried away and put a couple on his boots on the other one. I think you could do a lot of painting on this part of his hat with the white. You could also do a lot of polka dots or lines and polka dots. Just lots of variety. Or you can keep it simple. Same with the wreath. I just painted it red. But you could make it red and white stripes. You could add some of these pretty little highlights that we have. You could paint or leave your snowflake white and add that to it. The wreath could be green. It could be, like I said, striped or polka dot, whatever you want. I just think it adds a little bit of size and variety to our Santa. But I just love him, and I think you have just quite a variety of things that you can do to make him your own. So enjoy, and I hope you had fun with this project.